Right, 22 September 2024, and today I'm going to be giving you my evening update. And today I want to take it a little bit easy because we've been dealing with so many crazy topics over the past few days. So I want to slow down a bit or put in the brakes because sometimes it gets too much. So let's look at what is happening, what is trending. And I want to take you to an interesting trend in Zimbabwe. This is becoming a menace in Zimbabwe. This tree is called the Mumvee tree, and it's also called, if I'm not mistaken, the sausage tree. So this tree is being rumored or said to have traditional or medicinal effects, which means it is used for medicine, for treatment of various diseases. And I want to take you through what has happened today. So what has happened today is that the chiefs in Bikita have taken a decision to ban people who are coming from the cities to get this tree. So people have been flocking to the rural areas. They go into a place and they just start to harvest this tree, and then they take it to the cities where they sell it for $1 for two. So $1 for two, whereas they buy it in the rural areas, 50 kgs, I think for $1. So it's a massive profit. This thing makes a lot of money. So what I'm showing you here is the South African, the one you buy in South Africa, it's 100 grams. 100 grams in South Africa is costing $10, 10 US dollars. And that does not include shipping. When you add shipping, it can go as far as, let's say, $50. That is how much this thing can go. And how it works is that you take the powder, and obviously many people are using the powder, they mix it with oils to make a cream, which they put on their bodies. Females are using it for the treatment of certain cancers, such as cervical cancer, and guys are using it for many methods that I've told you before. If a guy is having a difficulty so like I told you that if you go to the urinal and you stand next to a guy, and the guy is taking 2 minutes to get started, that helps. Or some guys are even having to sit down to urinate. That thing can help you with addressing those problems. That is inflammation. If you've got that problem, you've got inflammation. And also with high blood pressure and diabetes. That is what they're using it for in the rural areas of Zimbabwe. So remember, I'm not giving you here any medicinal or legal or what you call medical advice. All I'm saying is how they are using it for in these areas. So there is a big market, and it's being bought like crazy in the rural areas. Then it's being taken to the cities where they remove the bark and make a powder. That powder is selling all over the world, and it's also arrived here in South Africa, where, as I said to you, very soon, I'm just finalizing the contract that I'm going to have with the guys who are selling so that they can deliver for you and you can test it yourself. So it's totally free of any side effects according to the research that has been done. That is why it is so much in demand. And I've told guys that you must never use those pills. So let's say you're struggling in bed, right? And a week, you can only go like once, whereas you're supposed to go 10 times, right? A week or 20. And you're only able to bring the engine up like once a week or once a month. Then you take this thing. Guys, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing because it's funny. So let's say your engine is only coming up like once a month. Then you need to consider a number of factors. And one of them is that you might be having a diabetic condition, or you might be having high blood pressure, or you might be having high cholesterol, or you might be having stress. So this kind of stuff, it helps, because anything that has to do with inflammation is going to contribute And if you take this thing for 30 days, you must see a massive improvement. If also you've got a 1 liter engine and you want your 1 liter engine to become a 3 liter engine, then obviously this is also useful. You might end up with an engine that looks like that instead of the normal one, which looks like a baby. So those are the kind of things that this thing is used for. And that is why there's demand. So I've given you as much as possible information on why this thing is popular in Zimbabwe. Then now I'm going to play you the video from ZBC, just a short clip, so that you see what they found today. So a quick clip that I'm going to play for you.
Tiri kuona vanhu vari kubva especially kumatowns ndo vari kuuya vachitora mimvei. Pamashure apa tanga tichingosiya vanhu nekuti tanga tisingazivi kukosha kwazvo, asi kunyanya kuuya kwevanhu vachiya munharaunda yedu takutoona kuti muti wakakosha. Saka iko zvino izvi hatichatendedzi kuti vanhu vangouya vachitora.
Ndongoona vanhu vachitema miti mamveve awo. Saka patinovabvunza paya manje vanonge vachingoti vanzira vamwe vasingadika kuti uzive kuti unoshanda sei kana kuti anenge akutoti iwewe kana uri mushonga unorapa unofanira kunge uchitouya kwandiri.
Tanga kuona gore nero vachitorova mavheve vachitokwirira miti vachita namavheve vachitosenga namasaga vachiti hanzi mishonga inorapa. Vamwe vakati hanzi kwa inorapa gomarara rechibereko.
Ndichi mahodha 50 kg ndoitora ne$3 ndozo yangu.
Right. So guys, I'm going to put that video on the group. I'll send you guys the full video. For certain reason, I can't play the whole video. It's about 3 or 4 minutes. I'll give it guys to you on the group, Zimbabwe 50-year strategy. So this is one product that you can only find in our region. So that is South Africa, Zimbabwe, and probably a bit of Botswana. You can find this Mumvee tree. It's amazing. It's been used in our culture for centuries, but it has suddenly become a massive tree. So it looks like this. That is the Mumvee tree when it's in the tree. And what people are doing, they're taking that thing there, the fruit, they're taking the leaves as fruit and as relish, and they're also taking the bark, which they crush, and they make a powder. And normally how you take this thing is every day you must take probably a teaspoon or tablespoon, and then in the evening another tablespoon. And unfortunately with Zimbabwean medicine, people don't know how to take it and how long to take it. So don't expect it if you take it for 1 day, then your engine becomes 3 liters. You must take this thing for, let's say, 30 days. Then you can start seeing the effect. And if you're a smart person, you also do your blood tests, like you check your blood sugar levels and all those kind of things. If you're checking and see how it works. And obviously, you must be aware, Kuti, if you take traditional medicine, you can't also at the same time be taking other medications. So most guys, so let's say you're using Mumvee because your engine is only working once a month, right? You must see improvement after a few days, but you can't also be taking the stuff that you buy on the road. So don't buy that stuff. You must immediately stop, because that thing is going to give you kidney failure. Eventually, you're going to get kidney failure. So all those unregulated medicines that you see on the street, do not buy them. They are dangerous. And most medicines that are made from Chinese laboratories are not checked, and they will eventually damage your body. So don't use the stuff from outside the country. Use traditional herbs. If you have to use anything, use the traditional herbs, but also work out, lose weight. And remember that if you are going to a match, you must prepare, you must practice. So if you just go to a match and you haven't practiced, don't think that you're going to win. That is some of the things. You have to know the tactics of your match that you're going to be playing. So don't just take a herb and think, yeah, now I'm sorted. Those are the kind of things that you need to visit your traditional healer for. If you don't have a traditional healer, you must find one immediately. Every man must have a traditional healer or a sekuru who helps him with his body. So this thing is helping a lot for self-medication, and that is what it's being used for across the country. It's massive, massive. People are going into buses to order this thing at in places like Bikita, and then they bring it to Harare. And it's all the way up here to South Africa, where this week I have found the local version where a company is actually processing it. So you need the same thing. In Bulawayo, a company is processing it, but I do not know how to get in touch with those guys to make sure that you get your delivery. The reason why I want you guys to get the delivery is I don't want you to pay your money and then you get disappointed. I want you to get your stuff and then you tell me after a few days, Kuti, is it working or not? Right, so I think I've covered this trending story of the Mumvee, and I'll give you guys an update again later this week. Then maybe your engine will be 3 liters instead of 1 liter. Now let's go to trending news. The commissions in Zimbabwe are all out and they've produced adverts. So the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Authority has come out and they are doing interviews on the 25th. That is the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Authority over here. They've already shortlisted 37 people applied, of which 7 were female and 30 were male. And they've shortlisted 18. So you can go check out the interviews that are going to take place. Very important commission. And there's some very interesting names over there. I'll put them on Gambakwe for you. The Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission is also shortlisted on the 26th. They are going to be interviewing, and that will be also televised. It's Parliament of Zimbabwe Commission. Unfortunately, there's no female that is applied on the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission. Then we've got the Ministry of National Housing has cancelled their flats. They're no longer going to be building the flats. You can go check it out. I'll also put this advert on Gambakwe. And then obviously we have Econet. They've launched an app. So you can go and install your app if you're an Econet user. Unfortunately, I'm not able to install my Econet app right now for various reasons, which I won't say right now, but I will do it very, very soon. I use Econet a lot, especially on Sasai. I use them for transmitting money. Last year, I think we transmitted over $100,000 to Zimbabwe through Mukuru, and I think through Econet or Sasai remit, we transmitted around, if I'm not mistaken, maybe $20,000 to Zimbabwe. So we transmit a lot of cash into Zimbabwe. My diaspora and Disu to send money to Zimbabwe. But that is for projects that we're doing in Zimbabwe last year. And then there is massive development, and this has happened at ZANU PF. So this is unbelievable. ZANU PF has banned all members from attending the annual National People's Conference in Bulawayo, which is going to be taking place in October. So in a statement that was issued today, ZANU PF has said they're not going to allow ordinary members to come to Bulawayo as usual. So the only people that are going to be allowed are leaders. So the statement was issued by Opam Chinguri, and as usual, she made a mistake in the statement. So as the ZANU PF National Chairman, she's not a chairman, she's a chairwoman or chairperson. She's supposed to say, as the ZANU PF National Chairperson, I am pleased to share our strategic direction for the upcoming 21st Annual National People's Conference. The gathering, which will be held from October 22 to 27 at the ZITF, marks a significant moment for our nation as we push forward towards achieving Vision 2030. In preparation for this conference, the National Coordinating Committee, which I chair, has made a critical decision aimed at ensuring impactful and efficient conference. One of the key measures we have taken is to reduce the number of delegates attending this year, drawing lessons from China. This year's conference will not follow the traditional format where every member of the party attends. We have opted to limit participation to Politburo members, Central Committee members, National Consultative Assembly members, and senior provincial and district executives. So you can go check it out. That is a statement that has been issued by Opam Chinguri today. And that means massive changes coming to ZANU PF. As I said to you, the next 5 weeks critical in Zimbabwe. You are going to see things you've never seen. in the next 5 weeks, and someone is going to drop very, very soon. You are going to see it. Like I showed you this morning, there are people who are getting attacked that we don't know about. We only know about it when it comes out in the press and when our sources tell us. So you saw the story I carried this morning of Mdara who wanted to be killed. This top general of ZANU PF, he is one of the most powerful guys in Zimbabwe. And he has said he is more trained than anybody. That is how he was able to survive that assassination attempt. He's always alert. He's got massive resources, and he's able to anticipate what is going to happen. And my understanding is that he's now living in the barracks with the soldiers. He's no longer living at home, or most of the time he is over there in the barracks where he gets massive protection. And I obviously think, Kuti, as I said, some people have got a defense, but they don't have attack. But what happens if everyone now starts having attack and defense? That brings a new dimension to this whole thing. So let's quickly look at the comments. My brothers and were using it Kukuza Nengo Zavo. That is Priscilla. Yes, and the young ladies are also using it to shape their bodies. So not that stuff that you buy as a woman. If you use Mumvee, it actually is used to shape the women so that they don't go all over the place. And then yes, I'll give you WhatsApp me. And as I said, I'll put this on Fomogena once I have got a contract with the guys here so that they deliver, because I don't want to be associated with people that don't deliver. And then Gambakwe, I hope Jonas made it clear to you not to trust Chionga because you adhere to the same system, and you can't say that the person that take over from Nanga will do very well because you don't know which policies are going to be implemented. What if I'm the person who's going to take over Mkoma? Anyone can take over. All you have to do is convince the army. So I've told the guys that the next guy who's going to take over must work with the army. And if you don't work with the army, you're not going to do well in Zimbabwe. So whoever is going to convince the military that they're well taken care of and that their programs won't do what Mnangagwa did. Because remember, they put in Mnangagwa and then Mnangagwa became a problem. So whoever takes over is going to do well because the plans are clear. High-speed rail is going to become a big part. Planned cities are going to become a big part. Many of our people are spending days on the road. We must stop that. Harare to Bulawayo, 2 hours. Harare to Victoria Falls, 3.5 hours. Every place in Zimbabwe is 2 hours away from Gweru by high-speed rail. And those are the things that will make us successful. If they don't do it, we'll do it. Chamisa, as I said, right now, Chamisa is very, very quiet. And my prediction is that Chamisa is not going to come back as a politician the way you know it. So and I always tell guys, don't be obsessed with Chamisa. Start working on a new plan. And that is what we need to do. And then Mkomata says, evening, Mr. Gambakwe, thank you. No Mumvee, pamwe, vakadzi vedu. Okay, Mumvee is just part of it. So like I said to you, when you're going to a match, you must make sure that you have practiced your match or your game. So it's not just the match. So one day when I was walking in Joburg, so Mbana, he works at one of the pharmacies. And what he told me is that most old guys, they lack strength, right? Power, you make me laugh, guys, when you ask me such questions. Right? Because one, how Jimmy. Two, when you go for a match, you have not prepared. So your actual hands are not strong. You know, like, you need to make sure that you're Kasimba. Yeah, you're strong. Like your partner no motor. You see those partner no motor. Bakasimba, because one simza Kasimba. So you can't just go to your match and you are weak. So make yourself strong. Remove Shidumbu. how you remove chudumbu is you don't eat pap every day. You also make sure that you don't eat 2 hours before you sleep. Have a gap in between. Don't drink coffee and tea throughout the whole day. Drink water and make sure that when you see you, your skin, and you go to the barber and shave and look amazing. Most guys in Zimbabwe, when I go over there to Mumvee, you last took a shower like I don't know how many weeks ago, and you haven't brushed your teeth, and you need to look like perfect. And when you are dressing your clothes, you don't have to buy expensive clothes. You can even buy to my hembe to Mr. Price, 200 rand, which is about $5. But make sure you are presentable and you look good. And yourself, you are not always worried about money. And when you go home, you don't have like 10 small houses and all those kind of things. Those are the kind of things that are making people weak. Because small houses are not diseases. So get weak, your engine becomes like an old engine from the past. So be good and follow a method. Then you'll see good, even if you're 90 years old. That's why you saw good madara and udara. I'm going to 4 and 5 with no issues. I found out these days with them kids 1, 2 tambora ne 1 year. So you see with most women, kana vapambu roommates as if you're out of Borova. Yeah, let's go to Mama Silas. He says, Gambakwe tawakutokuti Mr. High Speed Rail. Yes, Mr. High Speed Rail, that's me. Let's do high speed rail. Let's fix our country. Our country is a mess, but geographically, there is no country like Zimbabwe in the whole world. Dense in terms of minerals, highly educated population, existing infrastructure. So the rail that I'm talking about is already there. From Harare to Victoria Falls, there's rail. All you need to do is to revive it and take it away from NRZ. And then you put standard gauge rail, which is what they've done in Tanzania. And then you have high-speed rail, which is 300 kilometers per hour. So from Harare to Gweru, it will take you 1 hour. And then from Gweru to Bulawayo, it will take you 30 minutes. Imagine the impact of that. You've covered all the cities in there. Then you put rail between Gweru and Gokwe, or Kadoma and Gokwe. Whichever is nearer, you put another rail which goes all the way to Vic Falls through Gokwe. You've brought the Gokwe guys into the cities. And see, Gokwe becomes a city. Then you put Bulawayo and then Bulawayo to Bed Bridge. And eventually Bed Bridge to Johannesburg. Our people are spending days standing and waiting. And goods are just moving around slowly. Money, that's why our money doesn't work, because it doesn't circulate. And we can do very, very well with high-speed rail. But Wakoma Report, they will never do it. Mnangagwa is not capable. Mnangagwa is only concerned about historical old things. He doesn't think in terms of the modern world. That is why he spent 8 million at Mbudzi interchange, when you could have put high-speed rail from Harare to Chungwiza with that 80 million. And Mbudzi would not have been an issue, because everyone was going to jump into a high-speed rail. And if that high-speed rail was going to be quick and efficient, no one would spend the whole time sitting in traffic at Mbudzi. Right, Mr. Pardon, Mumvee, high-speed rail, Gambakwe. Right, that's Mukoma Lenzo there. Then Mukoma Valemidine, you make me laugh. Yes, if your engine is one liter and you want to make it 3 liters, then you know what to do. But don't overdo it, otherwise your engine will become 5 liter, and then you run out of petrol. Then Mukoma Chakura says, as Africans, we need to learn how to protect ourselves. Imagine kukura kwese uku, ndisingagoni kuridza pfuti. What will happen if I'm attacked? Yeah, that's a discussion for another day, Mukoma Chakura. I will never shoot at my brother in Zimbabwe at all. I would rather live than fight those guys with a gun. But there is a discussion to be had. When Gokwe was started, it was a bush, and the government issued guns to the guys who were in Gokwe because there were a lot of wild animals there. And then Gokwe became one of the centers of agriculture in our country. But where we are now, Zimbabwe will benefit more from peace. And the guys we have right now in government, they're not people of peace. They're not people of peace, and they're not developed or development focused. They're full of corruption, and they don't have a plan. So Mnangagwa doesn't have a plan, and he's damaging our country. You know what I've been saying. Mnangagwa arukura vanhu nenzara. So that is what it is, and we need to make a plan. However, our people are not united. Zimbabweans are not united. They don't work together. And we as a people, we've become the lowest of the low, whereas our country is so rich. So that is some of the things that we need to fix, and that needs good leadership. That needs a transitional system. Between now and 2040, we're going to have to transition our country into a modern, developed country. And it will happen. Then Mkoma, Innocent, yes, you help us in many ways. Yes, thank you very much. And then any update on Pastor Messiah and Frank Boyanga, I would like to say Pastor Takumara Messiah's case is being sorted out traditionally. We've left those guys, Anamatanga, and they will deal with it. Something is happening behind the scenes. And we'll let you know. And then Mkoma Valentine, I'll make you laugh. Yes, I'll make you laugh, definitely. But as I said, by the end of this week, we should have concluded the contract, and I'll give you the link where to get them there. From South Africa, they'll send it, and you'll be able to track. The problem in Zimbabwe is most of the time you can't track when they send you goods. So we'll sort it out. It's Zimbabwean guys who are involved, so it's going to be well done. Okay, I think we've completed here. I've said everything I wanted to say. I'll see you guys again in the morning. Thank you very much for all the support. Every day we're getting over 100,000 people coming to Gambakwe. And yesterday, we have a young man called Innocent Chududu. I don't know if it's Innocent or Innocent. Go and check out his video. It's almost on 100,000 people now on our TikTok. He saved 2 children from a fire. So that story has gone viral on Gambakwe TikTok. You can go check it out. It's an amazing story. And if I get his number, so if you know that young man's number, you give me his number, then we can get people to support him. He walked into a fire when everyone else was afraid to go in. He took out 2 children, and he had to go into hospital after he inhaled flames or smoke during the rescue. Amazing stuff, and that is in Bindura. So if you know his number, tell him to WhatsApp me here, and we can have a chat with him and make sure that he, because obviously he's not working. That's why he's in Bindura. So we want to make a plan for him so that his good work is rewarded. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. as I give you the trending news from all over the country. You can go and check out President Cyril Ramaphosa. He just issued a statement at the United Nations General Assembly at the Futures Conference. You can go over there. It was a very short speech. I think he spoke for like 5 minutes. So that is President Cyril Ramaphosa representing SADC over there. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and a good night.